Hi, I'm Jay, and this is a Trion electronic air cleaner. Now this model happens to be the HE1400, but maintenance on all the electronic air cleaners is the same. Now that needs to be done every 1 to 6 months, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is turn off the power to everything. Be sure to turn the power off before performing any maintenance. Okay, now that the power is turned off, we're going to remove the guts from this thing. So, here we go. Now, this particular model happens to have 2 collector cells and 2 pre-filters, but no charcoal after filters. The charcoal after filters are not washable or cleanable. You want to replace those, just throw them away every 90 days if you have them. Now, some units may have 2 collector cells and 1 pre-filter that's large, or you might even have a dinky little unit that has 1 collector cell and 1 pre-filter. Again, this one has 2 and 2, so we're going to get them all out. Okay, now that everything's out, let's go wash them. Okay, now we're at the laundry sink. A lot of the manuals say that you can put these things in a dishwasher. I've never been a big fan of that, so I like to do it the old-fashioned way. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this sink up with hot water, and we're going to add some electric dishwasher detergent, about a half a carton. All right, that's good. And now I'm going to stir it up until it's dissolved. All right, now let's add the collector cells one at a time. We're going to put them at the bottom. And here's the second. Now we'll add our pre-filters. And that's it. Now we're going to let this whole thing soak for about 30 minutes. Then we're going to take it outside and rinse it off. Okay, now it's time to rinse off the cells and the pre-filters. I've taken them outside. You can do it inside, but I just find it easier to bring them outside. As far as rinsing off the cells goes, you can be fairly aggressive with a garden hose and rinsing them off. You don't want to get too wild, but normal water pressure, you can just kind of rinse these things off real good with fresh water. Now that the collector cells are rinsed off, it's time to do the pre-filters. You want to be very careful with them. You can't rinse them off with a lot of pressure, so I like to adjust the nozzle so that it's just kind of in a spray pattern, and then carefully rinse them off really well with fresh water and let them drip dry. Now that we've washed everything, let's put it all back together. Now it's important that you put them in properly. There's an arrow here printed on the edge of the collector cells, and that arrow points towards the furnace always. So here's the arrow, it's pointing that way. That's how we're going to put them in. So, there's one, and there's the arrow again. There's the second one. Pre-filters, they always go before the collector cells. So the air goes through the pre-filters, through the collector cells, into the furnace. So since that airflow is this way, pre-filters on this side. Even though they'll fit on this side, that's not where they go. Now, if your air cleaner happens to be mounted on the other side of the furnace, of course the arrow would be pointing this way, towards me, towards the furnace, and the pre-filters, of course, would go on the opposite side. Again, the air on this setup here comes down here, goes through the pre-filters, through the collector cells, into the unit. Now we'll put the door back on. And at this point, we can turn the power back on to the air cleaner, and then turn the power back on to the furnace. If the cells are not 100% dry, it's either not going to work or it's going to make some snapping sounds, because it will take up to 24 hours to get those cells to be completely dry before they'll start working properly. So there we go. It's on, it's not snapping like mad, both lights are lit, so everything is good. Now this particular one happens to have an airflow sensor in it. It's now calibrating, so once this is done calibrating, then this red light will turn off, the green light will stay on this particular model, and then we can fire our furnace or air conditioner back up and complete testing this thing to make sure that it's properly working. Okay, so the light's out. So if we get our furnace blower running again, this red light will come on and away we go. Thanks for watching. For additional help or questions, feel free to contact us.